move into our first topic for the week. First topic
Sure.
here. Speaking of, I love my job. Listen, Chris Rock released that movie. I think I love my wife. That was the name of that movie, right?
What? I'm like, what is the transition doing?
Hey, transition, son. Chris, didn't he have that movie? I think I love my wife. Okay, I'm pretty sure that was the name of the movie. Anyways, Chris Rock also released a stand-up special this past week that was live streamed on Netflix. It was called Selective Outrage. Interesting about this special, it was actually the first ever live stream Netflix comedy special. So people saw it as it was happening live. And of course, now you can go on Netflix and watch it. But the biggest news about the special was that this was kind of the first time he was addressing the Will Smith slap last year at the Oscars. So he talked about it in his stand-up. Leland, did you get a chance to hear the stand-up special, or at least the part where he was talking about Will Smith? And if so, what did you think?
I did get a chance to watch the clip. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Okay.
Side note, not really ever been a big Chris Rock fan, like stand-up or otherwise.
You talked about you ain't like Eddie Murphy, now you don't like Chris Rock. What's up, man? What's up?
Bro, I just don't like, just because everybody else like him don't mean I do.
I'm sure you don't like Kevin Hart.
I don't.
See, who you like then, man? Who some of your comedians you like, son?
Bro, Dave Chappelle top.
Okay.
Dave Chappelle top. Bernie Mac.
For sure.
R.I.P. I've heard some good D.L. Hughley.
Okay. You
know what I'm saying? Like,
I was trying to get the other side.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I like comedians. You know, and I'm not gonna say like these like Eddie Murphy and Chris Rock haven't said something funny or done something of relevance, or I don't respect their craft. It's just like I'm not like a fan of theirs. Where we're like, okay, they came out with something, I gotta watch it. Like, it's not like that at all.
Sure.
So back to the joint. I seen it. It was disrespectful, in my opinion.
I think in his opinion too. I think that's what he was going for, bro.
Yeah. I just didn't. I mean, it was all right, bro. Like, I'm not like, I don't. That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm not like, oh, I'm disappointed in Chris Rock, because don't really care about Chris Rock like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got slapped. What feels weird to me is the time. Like, what was that? A year ago?
Like almost a year ago, like last March. It was last March. Yeah.
Bro, this is way too much time to be this salty about this. Like at this point, it's kind of embarrassing almost that you're holding on to something this long just I'm gonna get my jab off right now, son. Right now, I'm gonna get my jab off on TV, not even in front of the person's face. It'd be different if he did this. If he made a joke like this after he got slapped and was like, "Yeah, come on stage and slap me again."
First of all, hey, listen, let's get all the way into it. First of all, he couldn't make that joke because he went, as much as people said G.I. Jane joke, he went way further this time. So Will Smith gonna have to come up there on stage. I'll be honest. I
would test it. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the only time it's like, all right, bro. Like, if you
fair.
About that, say it then.
You know what? Good point, man. Listen, because he actually had a special he had a tour that came out after the slap, and it got sold out right immediately. A clip from this should have came out 8 months ago. I can see you on that. Like, you waited.
It's a little childish. It's not even a little childish. It's incredibly immature that you're so salty about somebody slapping you that the only way you can figure to get them back is a year later on a Netflix special. Why they not there? Weak to me, dog.
Well, listen, here's a couple things. For one, Chris Rock not really a tough guy. You know what I mean? For two, there is people that say, okay, for a comedian, this is how they get back. Comedians, they address things through here. It has been a long time. So as you mentioned this point, because he did go on a tour right after. I would have liked to hear 2 months after, maybe a clip came out. He running with this joke on tour.
Yeah,
here it is. You know what I mean? So I can see that part, man. But
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay, you're not a tough guy, but bro, then why? If you're not a tough guy, then stop with the jokes. Like if let it die. If you're not, what I'm saying is, if you're not about that life, like if you clearly he was like, he didn't like getting slapped. Nobody would, and clearly he didn't want to get slapped again. That's why he chose not to say it while they were around. But it's still weak either way. Like, it's weak.
Well, listen, let's go back in time. Let's go back in time, man. So last year when it happened, because we just started the podcast. What did you think about the slap? Chris Rock made the joke about G.I. Jane, which I'd never seen that movie until I looked up the poster and I saw a little side by side. I was like, you know what? It's a clever joke, saying, because she did look like that G.I. Jane girl. Look, I don't know if you've seen the poster. Said I never watched that movie. I saw that joke. I was like, actually, I can see the.
I mean, it's a joke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to answer your question, To answer your question, right? I I don't think that I don't think that Will Smith was in the right.
For sure. I agree with that.
I feel like even for him, right, is a sign of immaturity, right? Like it's kind of immature that I mean, I understand he was trying to defend his wife's honor, which is admirable, right? If you take that, that if you like take the
Yeah,
little, what I'm saying, that piece of it and be like, that's what fueled him. Like, all right, I got
sure.
you.
Sure.
But it's still at the end of the day, it was not a good look for your brand. It was not look good for your family. It's not really like no, it didn't really like it wasn't like it didn't go as you probably thought it would.
100, bro. Listen, my thought from this has been the same as day one. Going back to the slap, he definitely shouldn't have done it. And then here's one thing I was thinking about. You got to just think about. So one thing I said, this is the way I would have handled it. I would have, haha, the joke, whatever. Keep it pushing, because even some people were like, "Oh, he shouldn't have slapped him," but him yelling from the seat like, "Keep my wife's name out your," and then what? What did he say? Keep my wife's name. Like he turned up. People were like, "Oh, even that was fine." Even that to me was too far. What I would have did from the rip is approach him backstage, approach him at the after party. Hey, yo, listen. We didn't appreciate that joke. My wife's here, Jada's here. We like you apologize. Don't just say stuff like that. Now he got one or two options now. You can either apologize or it's going back to get fixed. I'm saying
Yeah, absolutely.
it's like, hey, listen, she's right here. You can apologize. You can stand in that joke, or now you're going to deal with the consequences behind the scenes, and it wouldn't have been as bad. That's the way. So you would have handled it similar, Leland?
Yeah, I would have. I think I said that originally too. I was like,
Yeah,
it just didn't have to be right here, right now. That's what
right
I'm
here,
saying.
right now.
That's what makes it immature is like the timing, the place, and the timing and place wasn't the joint. Like you literally could have had a conversation with him afterwards and like did the same thing. You could have slapped him
Yeah,
then. Like honestly, you could have literally went to his room and it didn't say
yeah,
nothing, and it still would have been better than what you did on the stage.
for sure. Listen, man. So even back to the stand-up special, real quick. Actually, Chris Rock didn't quite say this. All he did, because even after that thing happened, it showed like he really fumbled it. And I know a lot of people. There was a certain group of people that was like rocking with him, like, oh, he did the right thing, but it just showed it wasn't the right thing because he lost sponsors, he lost deals, and then I know somebody was like, yo, man, he had to just do a slave movie after that, and that's facts. Like that movie Emancipation, I ain't watched that joint, son. Nor have I heard anybody talk about that joint, son. Come on, bro. Like, yo, I'm not watching that joint. And so you heard Chris Rock joke when he said it?
Yeah.
Chris talk, he was like, yeah, I was watching that joint talk. Hit him again, master. Hit him again.
Wow. It was wild, son. I mean, like I said, I think I put you like this, bro. In a nutshell, I don't think it's a good look for us. The culture. I'm not proud of either one of these joints. Like neither one of these joints, like, oh yeah, Chris got him good. Like, bro, for a year from now,
No, I don't think that per
you know what I'm
se.
saying? I'm
Yeah,
not really proud at any of them. I mean, I feel like, yeah, as a comedian, you should get some leeway to do jokes. Like it's just is what it is.
yeah,
And it's not gonna feel good all the time. Sometimes they can go too far. I understand that, but that's literally the world and the realm of comedian and jokes.
yeah.
They have whole roast. Bro, you ain't
For
never seen them
sure.
roast. Them roasts go
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't know how I would do it. Just sitting there, especially if they hit some sore spots. Then people be sitting there laughing. It's almost like we were on the office. Or do you watch The Office?
Not like that.
You saw that one episode where they roasted Michael Scott, and then he like took it real personal. That episode was it was funny though, man, because they was in there and it was going in. You just saw him slowly but surely, like they were saying real stuff, like, "Yo, Michael, he's an idiot." And they had one scene I remember when Oscar, the Hispanic dude, he came up there and he didn't even he wasn't even roasting in English. He was like speaking in Spanish, like, like he was just going hard, like and paying to his thing. It was like like, and Michael was sitting there like, and they all just kind of roasting him, and he
You
was
gotta
like,
take it, bro. Like, so I think I feel like
yeah,
there's got to be, you got to give some leniency to like his
sure.
craft and like what he was going to do. I'm not saying like you just let somebody out there disrespectful, but in that, no, you got to understand time and place, and that just wasn't the time and place. And then Chris Rock, to me, just that joint was just kind of weak. Like
Are we
it
talking about
wasn't, it didn't have like enough like for do that like a year later when
Mhm.
they're not there, doesn't have enough, like it doesn't hit, it doesn't give me like the punch
Yeah.
that I think he think it was going for. I'm gonna go super below the belt. Like okay, but they not here, and
True.
that was a year ago. You know what I'm saying?
But
That was my takeaway.
I can get down with that because to me, I mean, Chris Rock, he's done a lot in the culture, been in a lot of movies, different stand-up specials. I wasn't necessarily I don't know if I saw his last joint, but I did want to hear people like, oh, he made some jokes about Will Smith, so I did want to actually come and see that joint. And so to me, man, I feel like here's the thing, going back to the slap though. People were like, Will Smith defended his wife, and I'm like, he kind of made it worse though, man. You know what I'm saying? I saw people was like kind of coming at Jada like crazy. I saw a DM somebody, you know how you could DM somebody then screenshot like you DM a celebrity. It was like talking out the neck. Yeah, I'm talking about your wife now. What now? You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, the slander and disrespect that came as opposed to because during the Oscars or all these shows, they always make jokes to everybody. So the grand scheme of life saying, I guess that was Chris Rock's response. It was a G.I. Jane joke. Really? You know, that was a G.I. Jane joke, but I don't think it was that bad. So to me, it's like he actually did more harm than good because now he really, to me, violated Jada when he called her out of her name in this joint and talking about like the infidelity and what. So now it's even worse. So it's like, bro, as Will Smith, what do you do now? You either, to me, you got two options. Don't say nothing and look kind of crazy, or go to jail behind this joint. I mean, at this point, like, what you gonna do now? When you told this man, you literally got to up the state. You said, keep my wife's name out my mouth, and people like, oh, I bet he ain't gonna say nothing now. Well, no, he did. So what you gonna do now? Once you resort to that physical, it's like it should be like the last resort. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, now you gotta take that up a notch. You gonna find them. You gonna find them in the streets.
Risk everything, son. That's what I'm saying. What you gonna do now? And now he talking about y'all crazier than ever, and it's like. And he probably might even just continue with I do agree with you that maybe it's not the best look for Chris Rock to do, but I mean this was tough, man. So just back to the slap, bro. I think it could have been handled differently, dog. He shouldn't have slapped that man. And just because now you in a situation now where people talk about y'all. And here's another point I want to get at a little bit since I'm on this subject, man. Jada Pinkett, bro. Shame on you. I'm looking at the camera. Shame on you, Jada Pinkett, man. Listen, Will Smith was an icon, a legend in the black community. These last 2-3 years got my boy looking goofy out here, son. 3 years ago, son, what was your opinion of Will Smith? Even though he wasn't doing stuff, it was like, as far as like black Hollywood,
yeah,
we got Denzel, then Will Smith. Am I lying, bro? Like as far as black Hollywood or like, you know, talking about the royal families and stuff, Will Smith was that dude, son.
So you saying he's not right now?
Yo, I ain't looking at him with the same reverence and respect. No way. He looked goofy. So with the entanglement situation, nah, dog. The entanglement situation alone had my boy looking crazy. Saying on the red table talk crying. Nah, bruh. I can't. I don't look at him
First of all, everybody, wow. Like, I mean, all right, y'all. I don't know, man. I'm not saying like he should. I'm not saying like he shouldn't be viewed. All I'm saying is, bro, like. That don't discredit what Will Smith did to me.
Oh, for sure, as an actor, he still got his.
That's what I'm saying. As an actor, like, bro, like, okay, like people got a lot of wild personal lives that do great things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure. But I guess until that point, Will Smith was kind of like unblemished. There was nothing like they were really reserved as well. So it was like nothing to say about Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? At least from my opinion, it was kind of like nothing to say. But having that's why Chris Rock joke he said, he was like, yo, all of us been cheated on, but ain't none of us had to be interviewed by the person that cheated on and saying, hey man, I was doing blank. How'd it feel? Like, oh, yeah, that's true. That's what happened, son. And then it's with your son friend. Come on, son.
Your son friend, bro. I don't know, man. I feel you. I feel you, but the joint just seemed the whole thing seemed weak to me, bro. Like I said, the Chris Rock joint, I just feel like it was in poor taste.
I got you.
Like the timing was just, I don't know. I just feel like it's too long, bro. If you salty, if you still like life too short, you still mad because you got slapped in the face and like this the way you feel like you can get back. That's kind of weak to me, bro. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that.
I agree with that.
I'm not saying nobody like Will Smith is right. Like he justified, he shouldn't have did nothing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like his response just didn't do nothing for me. I wasn't like, oh, he got him now. Like,
no, really, real talk though. What he had to me, and people always say, here's another thing. Chris Rock handled like such a professional stuff. I was like, yes, but I was like, bro, to me, my Instagram, I gotta shove you back hard. And if we got a tussle, we got a tussle, son. I don't know what to tell you. To come up there and get smacked down hard up there, son. Because I'm thinking about back to the situation. I was also looking at Chris Rock's different people like, oh, he's such a professional. I was like, that's what you
Bro,
call
first
it?
of all, ain't nobody walking straight up to me like that. My man came up to him like slow motion style too. Like I'm backing up at the very least. I'm like, hey,
something, bro. What's up?
Yeah,
I think he might have had his hands behind his back. Wait, I just got smacked by
the taste out of his mouth, and he just served it up to him. I don't know, bro. And then you come back a year later with this. That's weak sauce to me. That's super weak. Like, bro, a year later and they not there. If you was gonna do it, they need to be in the joint. Like they here, and I'm gonna do it again. That's at least like, all right, well, shoot, it's respect. Like my man came, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he took boxing lessons for a year and was like, I'm ready for it now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I don't know if he was hearing though. Chris Rock was like, he kind of, comedians oftentimes have that self-deprecation stuff, but he was kind of like, yeah, man, I can't beat Will Smith. Even then, I'm like, I guess you say it for the joke, but I ain't just about to concede some other man is so ain't no way in the world I can beat this man. Heck no, I ain't gonna say that.
Bro, you had a year to prepare, son. You better get like Rocky saying Creed 3 out here, son.
That's what I'm saying. He was like, bro, if you look at me, because he was like, oh, Will Smith, look at me, guys. You know, that joke was funny. He was like, yo, Will Smith played in Ali. Yo, I was Pookie in New Jack City, like, you know.
Yeah, I see that.
I was Pookie, son. Like, come on, but I'm like, I'm not even gonna say all that because I might can catch the right one or the right time. You feel me? Who knows? That's a little sneak. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. I just didn't land as well as I think he meant. I think he meant it because, like I said, he went super below the belt on these jokes. And it just was like, that's
fair. That's fair.
It's weak, bro.